So round 10 of the Formula One Sim Racing Esports Series, Las Vegas. Round 10 of Season 6 of JF, Las Vegas. Round 11 of the Formula One Sim Racing Esports Series, it was in Qatar. And right here, round 11 too here in the JF. Rounding off Season 6, it is in Qatar once again. We are mirroring the actual Formula One Esports Series. The only difference here is that we do not have a 12th round to round off the season. This is the finale race of the four-way back-to-back four-race sort of finale here. So joining me once again, it is Easy Turtle. Welcome on board, Easy Turtle. I'm pretty sure you're as excited to commentate on the finale as me myself here.
Hello, Appalese. It's good to be back, and it's sad to miss last week's race because it was very interesting and it was a very tough fight for everyone throughout the whole grid.
Oh, then definitely, of course. I I was watching a race from on flight home. Thank goodness for the in-flight Wi-Fi. But unfortunately, I couldn't get a flight home, and that's the result of flight delays. And obviously, I was balling on the aircraft, thinking like, um, wow, I wish I was home. I wish I was in the studio trying to commentate the race because we know it was an action-packed Las Vegas Grand Prix. It was a driver's request. The grid wanted the Las Vegas Grand Prix. They wanted the Qatar Grand Prix. They wanted something different from what was offered in the previous games. And oh, there we have it. There we have it. We have an exciting two-race finale, unique circuits to the Formula One 23 game. I think the idea is kind of similar to what the F1 sim racing organizers had in mind as well. That's why they have Las Vegas and Qatar as one of the final few races of the season as well. And of course, with this new circuits in mind, you definitely have drivers thinking how to adapt to the new circuits as opposed to what has been the typical Monza, Silverstone, uh, Catalunya circuits that they have always been racing on. Yeah, and there we have it. Look at the map. The map just came out. We are here in the Lusail International Circuit in Qatar. So, as you can see, another race in the desert, in the Middle Eastern region of the world. Total 16 corners. Really fast-flowing track here, Easy So it is not your typical street circuit. It's not your typical sort of Silverstone circuit where there's a mixture of slow, medium, high-speed corners. It is mainly medium and high-speed corner domination in this circuit, and I believe drivers would definitely will want to find they want to find the track limits and they want to find where they can push a car to the boundaries, and that's how they can find extra lap time per lap.
Yes, so this track really reminds me of the track over at Bahrain, where the second sector is quite technical and it really requires the drivers to be very dull in to really extract every single lap time that they can. And especially you have a few corners such as turn 1 and turn 4 where we might see lots of overtaking happening.
Heavy braking zones there, turn 1 and turn 4, as highlighted by Easy Turtle. Indeed, we have a very long start finisher in turn 1 and turn 4, whereby the more drivers with more audacious appetite. They've been trying to make a dive down to turn 4, leading to a very slow hairpin down at turn 5, uh, taking around gear 2 to gear 3, and you see drivers trying to lick their lips if they get close to their rivals enough. But yes, indeed, it is quite a similar format to the Bahrain International Circuit, albeit with less low speed corners, more high speed corners. Now, Easy Tesla, do you think it is the feature of circuits in the Middle East? Do you think is such as that of the circuit design, whereby tracks in the Middle East typically feature in such a layout?
I think it really depends on what kind of events they do host. So, for example, the Qatar track, it's used to be a lot of MotoGPs happens over there, and when it comes to MotoGP circuit, there's a lot of different requirements, and because of all these different requirements we have for MotoGP, it makes for a very unique track for Formula One cars, and I think it's quite a great track to be honest. Especially I like me myself enjoy Bahrain a lot. So when I see this Qatar track, it really gives me the inner spark to really want to try it and give it a go.
No, of course, it is way narrower compared to Bahrain as well. So you do expect more overtakes down the south of the straight, but it is safer to make an overtake on our rivals. But Do you think it is an added challenge with such as a narrow circuit whereby you need to follow cars with a dirty air behind across almost literally the whole circuit from turns 1 to 16? It is so narrow here in Qatar compared to, say, Bahrain, for example, we all know Bahrain is a track meant for touring cars, it's meant for Formula One, whereas the Qatar circuit is generally meant for motorcycle racing. So, and that, such as that, is a narrower it's a narrow layout compared to Bahrain. So, do you think it's going to be an added challenge for the drivers here tonight?
For me, I feel that even though the track might be a bit narrower, but because there's a lot of runoff areas, driver tend to be a bit more I would say braver in terms of their moves because they know that they are able to make a bit of mistakes and at most get some track limits warning. And I do feel that especially turn 1, 2, 3, and 4, the whole entire sector one itself can be it can be a quite spicy part of the sector where lots of drivers will try their best to do their most of their overtakings through that sector itself.
No, definitely. Sector one is, from what I can see, it's generally safer to make overtakes, especially with the downhills, the little downhill section from the end of turn 16 downhill to turn one. If you look at the DRS on the driver in front of you, you're definitely gonna have a good run of it, especially with the slipstream and the ERS. It is going to be a good overthinking spot here. So we're definitely going to see a little sopperoos between drivers who have a similar pace compared to each other. So expect to see a lot of them down to turn one. But speaking of which, as what you said here, AC Toto, you really need a lot of risk appetite. You need to make calculated moves, and that's how you're going to end up at the top of the championship as well. So, without further ado, speaking of the championship, let's have a look at the drivers' championship standings as it stands before we head into the final race of the season. So, overall driver championship standings, we do have Roshan Robot. Well, he has secured the drivers' championship. Too bad we weren't here to commentate his securing of the championship, but here we are. Roshan Robot, 175 points, 35 points ahead of Skipper in second, who has also secured second because there's 37 points ahead of his closest rival Taco Mesa. So Skipper on a war of his own right now. But the question now lies the midfield. Look at the midfield there, from all the way down from Yellow Rack, all the way down to say, well, Brandy, Sky, SS38. These drivers are the big question mark here. There's still prize money to be played for, but so do not count out those in the midfield here, Easy. So it is going to be a really interesting finale.
Yes, if you look throughout the whole entire championship standings, there are quite a lot of drivers being close to one another, and it's very important for the last race for them to score the points to get the enough points to get the prize money.
Definitely. So, but we all know here in the GF, we do encourage teamwork here, and interestingly, GF has a very similar strategy to the F1 Sim Racing Pro Series as well, whereby, well, if you've been tuning into the Pro Series, the F1 Sim Racing Pro Series, we all know that even if you're going to finish top of the driver standings, you're going to get a prize money of at most, what, 15,000, 25,000 US dollars. Whereas if you're going to end up at the top of the team standings, you're going to earn, well, 6 digits here. Easy to it's 6 digits for the Constructors Champion. And similar to that, here in the JF series, we do have majority of the prize money to the Constructors Championship, which you're gonna have a look at it now. Here, the Constructors Championship. So, easy to so what are your thoughts of that? What are your thoughts of having the bulk of the prize money and being allocated to the Constructors Championship?
I think it's very important, especially in F1, where it's all about the team game because ultimately it's the team that supplies you the car. And sometimes it's good to, especially in JAF, where there are certain drivers that lack a bit of speed when compared to those drivers that are always competing for podiums. So for those drivers that are paired up with teammates of better skills, I feel that it gives them a sense of motivation to try to score as much point as possible to have something to fight for instead of fighting at a lower field where not much is at risk. So having this championship and most of the prize money put on the constructors itself is very key in trying to make people work together as a team.
Well, of course, we only have 10 teams here, and as you can see, unlike in real life Formula One, we have all teams all 10 teams scoring at least 10 points. So honestly, if you're gonna ask me, no team, well, no team is safe. Honestly, every team is in some form of a battle or something. Look at that Alpine turnaround points, and Williams 186. They're on a battle of their own. And even if you're in the Williams, where you think you're at the top few, well, don't count on Mercedes. Mercedes are just 40 points behind, and if Mercedes are going to score 1-2, they're easily going to use them second place from you. 40 points. Well, if you're looking at a driver in isolation, it is a lot. But if you're going to count two drivers, a 1-2 by both Mercedes drivers can easily take over Williams if, say, Williams score no points. Touch wood, of course, but 40 points. Oh, obviously, do you think it's going to happen here, Easy Settle? Mercedes over Williams, 40 points?
I think it's gonna be a bit hard for the Mercedes team to achieve that, but I mean, in F1, anything is possible. But I would say that Williams might have a better breathing space, allowing them to have a better mindset and kind of have a chill race where they don't need to worry too much in terms of constructors. They just have to make sure they score just enough points to create that, to maintain that gap, or make sure the Mercedes boys doesn't close up on them too much.
No, of course, but if you're going to be a Williams driver here, Easy, so I think you'll be thinking more about offensive here. Because, yeah, let's look at the head-to-head between Alpine and Williams here. Just 15 points separate them over the past 10 races here. So, let's have a look at the graph. The visualization of Alpine versus Williams over the past 10 races. So, as you can see, Williams had a, using a white line, Williams had a better start compared to Alpine. But Alpine, with the help of Roshan Robot, look at the linearity of the Alpine line. It's so consistent. Such as the consistency of Roshan Robot to secure the overall championship during a penultimate race of the season in Las Vegas. So, well, I don't know, but how far do you attribute Alpine's success this season to that Roshan Robot? Easy Turtle.
I think Russian Robot is able to constantly scoring lots of points for the team itself is very beneficial. And Mangosteen himself isn't that bad because he is able to bang in some good points here and there. Just that it might not be as consistent compared to Russian Robot. But when it comes to Williams, they kind of start off the ground a bit badly because they have a few DNF or not joining the race at the start. But afterwards, with the help of skippers, they managed to bang in some good points, especially at the later part of the season.
Good observation there, Easy Turtle. As long-time viewers would know, Skipper and Roshan Robot, uh, they have been frequent attendees of a podium interview as of races of late, and they have frequently finished one too. In fact, even working together to get away from the pack himself. So the teamwork between Skipper and Roshan Robot over the past few races definitely bring both of the teams to the top of the standings as well. So who says that you can't team up with rival teams to actually get your overall goal here, Easy Turtle?
Yes, and I just realized that Skipper might not be joining us for today's race. So
Oh.
when it's down to Williams, Ryan has to be the one to score most of the points or make sure that the Mercedes aren't catching up and maybe put some pressure on Alpine itself.
Uh-huh. But here on the Alpine side of the garage as well, Roshan Robot will not be there for Alpine. So it is now, well, we have both Alpha drivers of the Alpine and the Williams not being present for the grand finale here. So it is all up to the second driver to, well, to make sure that they score good points for their own team. Now, the
I
current gap between Alpine and Williams is 15 points. So what do you make of it, Easy Sasso? How important do you think is going to be the role of the second driver today?
I just realized that for Williams, Destil will be replacing Skipper. So when it comes to the Williams team, they might have quite a strong reserve driver helping them out.
Oh,
And
and
in terms of Alpine, Alpine currently doesn't have any driver attending if I look at the attendance right. Because Mangosteen isn't coming, and you mentioned Roshan Robot not coming. So I guess it's all down to Williams to catch up.
so
So
are there no Alpine drivers today?
yes, I think so.
Oh dear. So disadvantage Alpine here, but entertainment for all viewers right here. So now the Garen gap is stands at 15 points. So as it stands, if instance, well, Ryan is here as well, so we have both Williams drivers and no Alpine drivers. So huge advantage to the Williams here. They just need to work together to ensure that they score good points for the team. But but if Ryan he fails to score, Desio he only needs to finish on the podium in order for no he needs a podium and a fastest lap minimally to usurp Alpine because by virtue of race wins, Alpine will still finish ahead of Williams if they are tied on points. But if Desio is going to finish third and gets the fastest lap, and if Ryan doesn't score any points, still Williams will take over Alpine as top of the champ standings as constructors champion. So it looks easy, of course. As we all know, Desio, he's a very quick driver, and I don't think third is going to be. Third is probably going to be a walk in the park for him here. Is he total?
Yes, definitely. And if you see the races that he managed to attend, he won both races that he attended and obtained the fastest lap. So, for example, Australia, and also Brazil.
Oh, so I believe all drivers here are fearing Desio, of course, and um, obviously we do not have a full suite of drivers here today. Less than 15 to be fair. So the format is now it's going to be a short qualifying session, and of course that leaves more room for Williams to score points. There's more opportunities for Williams to score points, and if you are Ryan, what do you be thinking in your head now? Would you be thinking of just making aggressive moves to score points to help Desio score points for the team, or would you think of more of just finishing a race and making sure that you bring to the finish line in one piece?
I think based on the past records Ryan has, he would wish that he would manage to finish the race because for the last two races, for the US Las Vegas and Brazil, he did not finish the race itself. And especially for Las Vegas, I think he was involved in the first lap incident with Simple, which causes him to crash out. So if I'm Ryan, I would definitely try my best to survive the first few laps and really just put in some consistent laps.
Of course, Ryan. Well, we all know he has pace, albeit being a little bit relatively slower compared to previous seasons. But of course, Ryan. Well, he won't be thinking just to finish further up, not just further up, it's just making the finish line because we all know Ryan, he can be consistent, he can be quick, but he just needs to make sure that he takes care of the car and not to get any sort of incidents on track. But of course, we all know what happened in Las Vegas. We all know the incident in the wet. Who would expect the weather to be extremely wet here in Las Vegas? It is a desert, but when it rains, it deluges down, and of course we're in the McLaren Simple, just making a really audacious dive bomb, and well, inadvertently taking Ryan out of contention as well. So, uh, commiserations to Ryan for the previous race, but of course, Simple, yeah, it is. Well, we all know it's a little bit dangerous on the move, and obviously the stewards didn't have a very good view of it. But meanwhile, speaking of drivers, we do have a separate battle going on in the drivers' standings, a head-to-head between Techromancer and Heejin, both of drivers who are actually attending today's race. So Techromancer in the Mercedes and Heejin in the Haas team. Now that's another battle we want to talk about for today because the finale. Look at that, 3 points separating these two drivers, and they have been constantly locking horns there and thereabout throughout the course of the season. Easy Cecil.
Yeah, so with the most recent race at Las Vegas, Checo managed not able to score any points because he DNF, so which causes Heejin to really catch up towards Checo himself. And we know Heejin is quite a very consistent driver that is able to fight right at the top. So this battle between Checo and Heejin is gonna be quite spicy, especially this very last race. So you might see them taking a few risky chances to score some extra points.
Of course, we can see if over the course of the season, he should get a very comfortable car. Towards the middle part of the season, Techromancer just faltering a little bit. Um, at the very beginning. So Techromancer, as you know, he's a really consistent driver. Look at the amount of points against the mass through the middle of the season. Well, not winning races, but just being there about. His presence, of course, our season 5 champion there, Tacklemancer, and of course, looking slated to reach as a second runner-up this season. And of course, that's what I expect from a champion. Consistency is key. and definitely you'll pick the consistency over raw pace itself.
Yes, so I think for Tekro himself, he just have to make sure that he does well for qualifying, because he had a few incidents where he didn't do well for qualifying, and which resulted in his race to be compromised, where he was doing most of last to first challenge brought to him because of his poor qualifying pace. So if Taco is able to improve his qualifying pace, I think things will be much easier for him. And yeah,
Well, of course, Tacromancer, as we all know, Tacromancer is a very unique way of trying to qualify. You know, Tacromancer, we did interview him previously. He did mention in one of the podium interviews that qualifying is not only not his forte. He doesn't take qualifying seriously. So as a matter of fact, he values race pace more compared to qualifying, which I do agree, because here in the JF, anything can happen. We know the dynamics of a safety car here, which is set on I'm not sure, it's probably increased here in the JF. The the possibility of a red flag or safety car is so high here in the JF that Takamatsu would just want to bring car home in one piece and just make sure that the car is safe, that he doesn't DNF. And we can see that so far, he has only one DNF over the past 10 races, which is recently Las Vegas. Kind of unfortunate there because, you know, Las Vegas is. There's no runoff areas, and basically, the only runoff area is into the barriers. So, Techromancer, well, obviously, with that performance, with that DNF in Las Vegas, the gap down to just 3 points to himself at the Heejin. So, obviously, here in Qatar, uh, the runoff areas is just basically track limits. So, obviously, like most other drivers, he would be trying to still stay within the white lines. This time around, not to hit the barriers, but of course, the penalties can be really damaging to a race in the case of a late race safety car here, Izitato.
yeah. So I mean, Qatar brings lots of chances for drivers, and I feel that the first sector itself brings a lot of wheel-to-wheel action between drivers, and when there's more wheel-to-wheel battles, meaning there will be more chances of safety car.
Of course, not just a safety car, but well, if there's going to be a safety car, the drivers will be hoping for safety car to happen early in the race compared to late in the race. Because if it happens late in the race, it well, you can expect a bit of a peloton, especially if drivers having a safe pace. It's going to be a little bit of a DRS train. Drivers following each other, and for drivers who have existing penalties owing to track limits, which you can't simply remove by making a pit stop, that's going to hinder your race because you have less time between the end of the safety car period and the end of the race to actually eliminate the impact of that penalty. So, what I believe drivers must be thinking now is how I can maximize my time here. How do I extract more time out of the Lucerne International Circuit, and at the same time, not falling afoul of the uh, in-game stewarding, whereby they'll give you penalties if you exceed the track limits a little too much.
Yeah, I feel that for track limits itself for this track, it can be quite hard because, for example, Austria, the track's very simple, but everyone keeps getting track limit warning quite very often because it's because of all this runoff area. Drivers will try to maximize the width of the track to gain lap times, and because Qatar has a lot of runoff areas, meaning drivers will try to maximize the width, and we can see quite a few track limits warning appearing, and especially in qualifying, track limit can really hinder a beautiful lap that you have. So drivers do have to pay a bit more attention on which area they are pushing way too hard.
Of course, and that's the reason why we do see drivers still practicing in time trial early in the day. We all know that, well, number one, it's difficult to overtake in Qatar. So track position is key. They know that you got to start higher on the grid to actually have any sort of chance of scoring points. Um, I would say it's better to Monaco, but in terms of a proper race circuit and not a street circuit, this is one of the hardest tracks to overtake, owing to its narrow nature, and of course, only one start finish straight it has. Only one DRS zone for drivers to make the overtakes, and of course, as what you mentioned, one single invalidation of a lap time, especially in Q3, for example, it is going to make or break your race later on.
Yep. Definitely, especially the second sector, it can be quite technical, especially 7, 8, 9, 10, because it's quite a flowing consecutive, I would say, corners, which will result in drivers having to react fast when putting in the driver's steering input. So if you tend to input it a bit too late, you might exceed the track limits very easily.
Of course, no one wants to see that notification putting up on the screen. Invalidated lap time, left the track. And obviously, it's not just it's not just the removal of your lap time that is hurting. What's gonna hurt more is the psychology behind that. The psychology is that you know that your lap time is invalidated. You know you've wasted a set of tires, and that's the end result. You don't get the opportunity, and yeah, basically one set of tire wasted. And obviously, drivers know if you were a driver previously, easy to and you do know that you're only given a limited set of tires in qualifying, and that is precious time being wasted. And especially in short qualifying, there's only one qualifying session, and your choices of tires are limited here. Easy to
Yes, and like you mentioned, I was a previous driver, so I can feel the pain the drivers do face when they invalidated their lap, especially at the last sector when everything goes purple and suddenly the whole thing turns red.
Oh, I feel you. And one place I can see that happening is actually at look at 10-14. The very fast left-hander because and as a sector tree, not only is that in the third sector, but it is it is a left-hander. Well, as opposed to the previous full flat-out right-handers, that left-hander of 10-14 is definitely going to be you need to lift off a bit on the throttle. You can still throttle, but you need to know how much to throttle to optimize your cornering and where to position the car as well. So it's a big question mark for drivers here. Now, Q1 is underway. Not Q1, I mean, short qualifying is underway. And we all know there's no cars on the track to rubber in, put lane rubber there. The grip is still really minimal here. Now,
Yeah.
drivers, I don't know whether how gritty are you gonna be on your first run on your banker lap, but I'm pretty certain we're gonna see a few drivers, well, fall off out of track limits at 10:14 in the season. So as you see, a few drivers already going out. We have a Mercedes and a Red Bull coming out on the pit lane.
Yep, and the Red Bull is on mediums. So I guess Yellow Rag and Clive might be using the mediums to sort of get the hang of the setups, making sure the setup is perfect before going on to the soft to put in their hot laps.
Wheel to wheel? No, not really wheel to wheel. So Sky's gonna go wheel to wheel with yellow right on the tires here. But look at that, yellow right and Sky. Sky's I think, trying to concede a few places.
Yeah, I think he's
To,
trying to,
yeah,
yeah, I think he's trying to create a gap to Yellow Rag, but he's sort of slowing down the Alpine right behind him. So I do hope no incident happened.
Does he really want to slow down a bit more though? Because there's a lot of cars right behind him. But he's let the Alpha Tower through as well. Unless he's really trying to use his rivals to rubber in the second front end, because the first driver down is yellow right. He's gonna have the worst track conditions here. Yellow right on the medium compound tires is gonna be the first time on the board as it stands. No one in front of him. Well, and the AlphaTauri of who's that Clive behind him is it Clive? No, Nimes are fine. Nimes are fine. Right behind him. It's quite a distance there, so he's well. He's not going to get the best track conditions. Let's see what's his time going to be on the medium compound tires. Let's go on board of the lap with him as he goes past the start finish straight. Yellow right on the flying lap is about to start up the first banker here. So let's have a look at yellow right. How's he negotiating through turn 1? Now, easy says so. You'd say turn 1 is going to be a key overtaking spot. And, well, he does and runs wide. It runs wide, does not invalidate it, but backs out. So the track definitely not rubber in here, Easy Cecil. And so now we look, and Nimes are fine. Nimes are fine. He does get in now. Gets a position pretty well here, Easy Cecil. So, yes, the track not rubber in. I believe the soft tires will be the tires to be on here.
Yeah, but I feel that the drivers currently out right now is just trying to find their pace and know how's the track gonna feel like, because in this qualifying it just started, so everyone is sort of taking a stroll at the track, not really pushing too hard, and most probably they will start pushing as times goes below the 10-minute mark.
Of course, these are first lap times are being said. We just want some bankers here. Obviously, this is sole qualifying session. You can, but you're just getting a bit familiarized with the circuit here, especially for drivers who have not been practicing. They might be using the first 2 minutes of this qualifying session as a practice session. I fully understand that. Look at that. Now he's going through 10-14. Oh, let's break a little bit more than usual there. Nice to find. So let's see how he negotiates the final corner. Pinches the apex. Now charge it all the way to the line. What's the lap time going to be? Is it going to be a 1 minute 23 point slow there? 124.074. What about the driver behind, which is Taku Mensa, who has invalidated the lap time? Sky, however, does go fastest, 122.027. 2 Hasses behind, Malatov, Hijin, and Ramen. What's it going to be? Hijin goes on 122.705. Ramen, though, where does Ramen go? 123.408. And Dastil has invalidated the lap time. No, he's on our lap, so it's not going to count for much. Taku Mensa's invalidated, but yeah, who had one fastest? Clive has invalidated, so multiple drivers who have already invalidated lap time there. Big names such as Taku Mensa, Clive, Yellow Right, all invalidating lap time. So it's a really tricky circuit here, Easy Turtle.
Yep, and it's quite hard because when you see such an open track, you thought you have the limit, you're within limit, and before you know it, all 4 of your wheels have passed the white line, which causes your lap to be invalidated. And one thing that...
I'm sorry, continue.
Oh, no worries. One thing that I realized was that with Nime's 124 lap time, he was actually riding on his brake for the last sector. So I'm not sure whether he's stem packing.
Did he back out of the lap there?
I'm not too sure because he suddenly accelerated hard. So it's, maybe he's trying to charge his ERS.
I have no idea, but oh, look at Chimkin. Chimkin, there was a car in the way there. That certainly is going to serve as a distraction. It's Chimkin who has already invalidated his lap time, so that could be distracting there. But what about Dastiel? Dastiel's coming in on a hot lap on the medium compound tires, and is going pretty quickly indeed there. Is Dastiel? It's pretty easy.
Oh, he invalidated his lap time.
Did he?
Yeah.
Dastiel has. Dastiel's invalidated it, so... Oh,
he took it. He invalidated at turn 11. He went a bit too wide. Yeah.
Wow. So, really, well, we're already 6 minutes into Q in the qualifying session, and only 7 times on the board. 5 drivers having trouble setting even a single hot lap, and well, let's go on board with Dastiel again. He's trying to go again on the medium compound tires. So let's go on board with Dastiel and see what kind of a lap time he's going to set. The true pace of Dastiel right here, right now. So, Easy says, "I'll take us through this lap."
Yeah, so he's taking turn 1 pretty nice and smooth. Not much, yes, within the track limit. So that's one thing that the drivers do have to look out for approaching turn 4, finding the braking point, braking at a 50-meter mark, and taking the 290 degrees bend properly before approaching turn 6. And he has to be patient with his accelerations to make sure not to exceed the track limits. And through turn 7 he goes, and right now turn 8 and followed by turn 9, which can be quite tricky because braking the car in a straight line is quite hard, especially for this sector 2 itself. And he managed to keep it within the track, and now approaching towards turn 12 where it's a flat out corner, followed by turn 13 and then 14. And for this, approaching turn 15, he just had to blip his throttle, which he did, and he just have to approach towards turn 16 right now. But I realized he isn't using any ERS. So
he's going slow. He's actually going slow. So he's just
yeah,
a little bit of banker lap time there. Interesting strategy from Dastiel.
yes.
127 something.
Oh, I realized he actually upshift very early.
Sandbagging.
Yeah.
Sandbagging is finest.
Yeah, so
And
I guess
Clive has gone right. Clive has gone really wide. He's invalidated.
Yeah, so drivers really have to watch their track limit, especially sector 2 itself, because even that still exceeded the track limit, showing that how difficult it is for every single driver.
Of course. So now we're running sub 10 minutes now. You say drivers are going to start pushing below 10-minute mark. We have multiple drivers on the outlap and still only 8 times on board. So I don't know what's going to be the ultimate strategy here in qualifying, but so far the fastest lap is still 1:22.0. It's pretty slow considering most of the drivers are setting 1:21s on their time trials. So clearly, see drivers really pushing for it. Heejin is mentioning that this is not his strongest circuit, but it's going to work. Heejin is about go set a lap, and you know Heejin is on step for today's race. This is the finale. Heejin is now starting his hot lap. See how he negotiates the corner here. He really safely. Heejin. I don't know. I don't know. You know, do you recommend? Do you reckon it's a lack of is it a matter of lack of confidence, or do you think he's just trying to keep it safe?
I think he's trying to keep it safe and within the track limits because he isn't really attacking all the corners very aggressively. I would say quite conservatively. But I mean, it's a very clean lap, so when you have a clean lap, the lap time tends to be a bit good. But maybe you put in a bit more feisty lap. Maybe once the timer hits like a 5-minute mark.
That was a PB in the first sector, 7-0.
Yep, and
Second sector, it is not a PB. It is not a PB. He's gone faster again. By 2/10.
well, I guess keeping it clean has been really beneficial for him.
And it's really nice turn 14 as well. He's nailed it this time. So expect his final sector to be the personal best as well. So he's definitely going to go up beyond it. But how much? You have to hit himself in fourth place. Ryan is about 3/10 of a second. What is he going to bring him? Is he going to bring him up to? Is he going to bring up to? Oh no, stays P5. Stays P5. Personal best. So pretty consistent there by Heejin. 1.24. So just not taking any risks, but yellow rack. Whoa, 120.4. Where did that come from? More times on the board. Look at Sky. Sky's he's gone purple as well. So Sky is trying to battle yellow rack for that. SS38 too. SS38 has gone purple in the first sector. So you're right. Times are lighting up across the board right now. What is Sky gonna do? Sky and the Mercedes trying very hard, but only goes second fastest with a 2/10 off. And SS38 is lost time in the second sector. It's not a PB in the second sector. SS38, where can he go with that lap time? Well, question is not sure. Ramen invalidates lap time. That's a 1:22.4. He actually goes faster than Heejin in the run. But SS38, that's a good exit down the final corner. Where's he gonna go? Where's SS38 gonna go? The answer is CSP tree, but the gap out in front. Ever so close there right now.
Yeah, drivers are starting to be a bit more serious in terms of setting the lap times, trying to attack the corners more aggressively, I would say. For example, Sky was actually half of his car was off the track at the start finishing straight. So
sorry to stop you there. Chimkin is on a really quick lap there. Look at that. Just battling through the corners there. Bro, look at the attack on the corner is doing here. Chimkin is really on it. Well, we haven't been talking much about Alpha Real Driver all this while through the season, but look at that. It just shows you how clinical, how slippery he is with that car. He loves the setup as well. Where's Chimkin going to go? He's going to bring it up into P6, 122.616, and that is a really handsome lap time by Chimkin. Meanwhile, Clive has not set lap time, as is Taku Mensa on his outlap. So only 2 drivers have a set lap from Taku Mensa as well as Clive. So what do you think about Taku Mensa? Do you think he's going to set a good lap here?
It's hard to say because I mean you mentioned that Takro isn't very serious in terms of yeah. I think he might have had track limit issues at his outlap, which resulted his hot lap to be To be
Another
no,
driver.
actually,
Yeah, you're right. Another driver I didn't mention, who's not that serious going on with his qualifying session, in fact treating it as a practice session, is Dacio. Well, 5 lap old medium compound tires, but he's gonna start in 10th, but where he's invalidated his lap time. But notice those lap times are pretty reminiscent to what you'll be setting on the medium compound tires in race pace. So, do you think Dacio is just doing it just to practice his race pace?
it might be possible because maybe they still didn't have the time to practice the Qatar track itself because he might suddenly drop in as the reserve driver. So I'm not too sure, but it feels like he's using this session as like a practice session for him.
Of course. Let's see who's on the hot lap now. It is Nimes are fine. Nimes are fine. Well, he's on hot lap, but not setting personal best in the first sector. 110 down from his previous best, but now going through the hook at around 10:10. How's he gonna handle sector 2? What's his timing gonna be? Is Nimes are fine? Nimes are fine. Oh, is there improvement? Improvement from Nimes are fine in the second sector. Fantastic there. He's doing two. That was 2 tenths up on his previous attempt. How's he gonna handle the final sector? Turn 14. Oh, nicely done there. Nicely done from Nimes are fine. How's he going to handle the final sector? Turn 16 now. Oh, pretty nice there. Good try to control the final corner, and that should be improvement for him. What's he going to be here? Nice to find. How far is that going to bring up the order? It is. Oh, he lost time actually in the final sector.
Yeah, so I think turn 15, compared to other drivers, he actually braked to slow his car down instead of letting go the throttle. So that might have compromised him a bit.
And meanwhile, Desio has improved up into 9th fastest. 124.671. Great pace, indeed.
Yes, we can.
It's going to start P9 and Ryan and P4. By my calculations, this should be just about enough for Williams to take the Constructors' Champion here.
Yes, and also realized that there isn't any McLaren drivers on for today.
Oh, Facile Strategy running extremely wide. Personal best 1 and 2, but Facile Strategy just running extremely wide and turn 13. And lap time not invalidated as good as gone? Or is it? Facile Strategy, well, he got really badly distracted there, but he can still complete the lap. But is it going to be an improvement here by Facile Strategy? I think he might as well just complete the lap because he's still improving. Overtakes Dacio into 9th place. And I think when you are going to qualify ahead of Dacio, finishing for Dacio, it is a motivational boost here.
Yeah, and I think it's quite a random mix of order right now if we look at the standings for this qualifying. So I do wonder any more drivers will put down a proper lap
Eugene.
time before Eugene.
Yeah, he is.
Oh yes.
He's matched his first sector. Right?
Yeah.
He's
So
going more aggressive now.
let's see Eugene's approach for the sector 3 itself. Doing it nice and smooth like the previous lap he did. But let's say this time he might be a bit more aggressive. And yes, definitely. And I can tell the way from him approaching turn 15. And yep, it was a not bad lap, turn 16. So hopefully he would set a better lap time. Oh,
Personal best, final sector, but not improving the first 2, but still pretty consistent sector times for Heejin. So it goes to show that, well, he was, as you know, Heejin was really conservative over the his first attempt. Now being more aggressive on the second, but still bashing the same lap time. So you need that balance. You need the balance in order for you to do well here. And SS38 is showing you how to get a balance. SS38 is almost getting blocked by the avatar of Clive Tunt, and I'm pretty sure he'll be getting on the radio saying, I got blocked by Clive right now. And certainly the students will be definitely looking at that. SS38 improves but stays third fastest. He'll stay third, and yeah, he's gonna start third later. Any more drives on the hot lap? Ramen, look at that! Ramen, 1 second up on his attempt. You have like a Ramen. It is, well, it might be a Haas master plan right here. Easy so because Ramen 1 second up on sector 2 already. This is the lap time of a life, ladies and gentlemen. Ramen from P8 currently, but he might have been sandbagging. He's not sandbagging this time. This is the stonking lap time of a 1 minute 22.333. He gets Higgins. Higgins out qualified for the first time in JF by a teammate. Raman. He's up to fifth, and has locked out the third row of this. And if someone can do it, can Chimkin do it? Chimkin now, look at the upset, and he's sort of, we might split the houses here, but fantastic left turn from Raman here. Who would have thought he would have got ahead of Heejin, who is currently running down the championship?
Oh no!
Chimkin's got
Did you get
blocked.
it?
Chimkin's got blocked.
Yes.
Who was that?
I think it was Nimes.
Oh, he was invalidated, and Chimkin, his left was completely compromised by that. But still personal best in sector 2. Whoa, he's gone wide. The momentum is gone. Almost invalidates. And that has definitely huge ramifications. And his lap time almost invalidates. But Chimkin really on the edge here. This is one lap time. You don't want to miss out, but he must be sitting on his driver on the slip. He slipped there as well. Chimkin after the distraction, I told you, and the distractions are so damaging here, and it's not even a personal best. That is it. Chimkin will definitely be something on ticket for that. That was clearly an impeding offense here, Easy Sato.
Yes, definitely, and it's quite sad for Chinkum himself. And I think he was setting quite a fast lap time that may even challenge Heejin's lap. So we can't really tell because we won't know because the qualifying has ended. But these are our final qualifying positions.
There we have it. Where we have to talk about the top three and Summer's advance. Well, if only. But if that was going to be a suggestion for the next season of the JF, would it be giving you penalty points for the driver who has click advance? Because that is what is being practiced in F1 sim racing as well. In the Pro Series, we do have who is that? Otis Lawrence, Patrick Sipos as well. Patrick Sipos, one of the F1 Pro drivers. He almost got a race ban by advancing when the management team of the sim racing series told him not to. So, do you think it could be something that can be implemented in the future season?
There might be because I mean, the F1 esports does help us have a better understanding of what's the proper rules we can follow to make the racing itself much better. But I would say JEF isn't as competitive towards the F1 esport itself, and the drivers over here are much more casual at time. So we really have to depend on the management to see where they would want to go. But
Oh,
I
of course.
realized one thing is that Clive didn't even set a lap time.
Oh, and normally you would expect drivers to be there should be a 107% rule here as well. So that could be something that could be on the cards as well for future seasons. Obviously, the GF, we did, for those of you who have just tuned into the stream, the GF aims to foster a community of esports racing here in Singapore. And obviously, and that's the main goal. We do not, well, we value the community over competitiveness. It is a league of friendly competition, and I believe friendships have been forged over the league here. Friendships have been newly found friends have been actually they go on each other through participating in the league as fellow competitors, regardless whether it's a teammate in the rival team, whatsoever. So obviously, uh, the Jeff has fulfilled its goals and needs uh, by that standards. But yeah, of course, qualifying analysis. Here we have it. Yellow rack. Um, he won with a 121.3. Sky in second place with 129.692, 3 tenths of a gap. Interestingly, SS38 by the name of Shahir. Shahir has just 12 1,000 of seconds behind this guy. So interesting performance there for the Ferrari. Ryan on the Williams there. Who I thought Ryan would actually be in the top four. This is his best qualifying so far into the top four in row 2. 8 tenths down at 122.2, but fantastic performance there from Ryan. Ramen with a 122.3 in fifth. Has row 3 of Kijin in 6. Chimkin in 7th, 122.6. Nimes to find 123.1. Then we do have Facile Strategy, Desio and Checkromancer running up our 11 draws times. Clive times out the back. He has not set left time qualifying. So, of course, interestingly, Desio the only driver set on mediums, but I don't know. Do you think he'll be trying to set lap time on the softs later?
I mean, when we look at Destil and also Tekro, we know they're not really pushing their hardest, especially Tekro with the soft going at 131. So I mean, this shows that he's actually sandbagging and maybe he just want to enjoy his last race. I mean, the last season's race for this season, and yeah, he might try for another last to first challenge. But with Destil right in front of him, I think it's gonna be hard for him to achieve the win because Destil is a very fast driver. So maybe you will see Destil and Tekro cutting through the field and really challenging the top three drivers right at the top.
Of course, and obviously with the there are all these rule suggestions we come up with, all what has been discussed in the commentary box. I believe that you as viewers, you have your own opinions, your own viewpoints on whatever has been discussed by both of us commentators. So definitely, maybe you have a little of a break, short commercial break, where you guys can do a quick reflection on what has been discussed, on future rules and that can be implemented in future seasons of the JF. Obviously, JF, we only went through 6 seasons, and well, it might sound long, but 6 years, honestly, it's not too. It's still pretty. Um, it's still pretty new in terms of how mechanics go about. So, obviously, uh, let's have a quick reflection, through a quick commercial break, and stay tuned for our finale race of season 6. Do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen.
Our lips, they tasted like those cigarettes. Staring at the moon, we'd go to bed. In my arms, you're safe and sound, without a threat. And I can't wait to see what happens next. How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in. Don't know any roads that lead us back home. And I don't know any roads that lead us back home. Our lips, they tasted like those cigarettes. Staring at the moon, we'd go to bed. In my arms, you're safe and sound, without a threat. And I can't wait to see what happens next. How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit young, but I'm
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the commentary booth. And once again, welcome to the finale of season 6 of the JF Championship. I'm a Palace for the 6, and alongside me is Easy Total. Welcome to the post qualifying show, and I can record a previous show as well. So, Easy Total, welcome back as well to the booth, and I'm pretty sure you're excited after a very exhilarating qualifying session, albeit only it being a short qualifying session. I'm pretty sure a very exciting race awaits us.
Yes, definitely. I mean, from just the qualifying itself, we can tell that this track is very challenging for all drivers, and especially when it comes to track limits. So I feel that we will see quite a lot of track limits warning before the penalty kicks in. So I think this gonna be quite a bit of a messy race where it's gonna be lots of calculation, knowing whether who's gonna be at what position at the end of the race.
Of course, um, definitely. Um, that's why you say easy and also before the break. It's pretty a mix-up grid out of 12 drivers here. So without further ado, let's do a quick recap of the 12 drivers here. So it is going to be Yellow Rank and the Red Bull getting pole position of a phenomenal 1-2-1-3 lap here. 310's clear of the Mercedes of Sky. Ferrari of SS City in third place. Ryan in the Williams in fourth. Has locking out the third row in fifth and sixth. Alfa Romeo in seventh, but likes of Ivan Shimkin. Names are fine in AlphaTauri, and then Seal Ferrari as well. So what do we have here is that we have 7 different teams in the top 10. Um, but certainly pairings such as Ferrari, we have Williams, and potentially the Mercedes as well. So um, we do have three teams whereby we have both drivers present. So with only a limited grid of just 12 drivers here in the finale, are we going to see a bit of teamwork being exhibited by teams with both drivers in there? So you can see Ryan teaming up Desio to trying to get ahead of Alpine in the standings. We have Ferrari. See Ferrari to the standings. Ferrari currently ranked quite low. To be fair, they're ranked eighth. Well, 24 points behind Aston Martin, and then most importantly, we have Mercedes. So Mercedes trying to take out Red Bull. So I believe these teams will be thinking more about the constructors championship and thinking of strategies on how do they actually maximize the points haul here in the season finale.
Yeah, and I do think that because this is the last race, so the drivers tend to be more of a cheerful side where it's sort of like a end celebration for this season. So we might see drivers really battling all out for the whole entire race. And yeah, because I mean, this is the very last race, so this is the very last chance for them to really show what they're capable of to everyone.
Especially in the FN23 game. The next time we are probably going to see uh, the same suit of drivers racing. It will be the F124 game, and I'm pretty sure all of you are pretty excited to find out what has the new game in store for us. I did see the trailer being aired after the F1 esports series, the finale. They did show a quick trailer of how the esports F124 game was, and needless to say, I'm pretty excited with the new features. But obviously, what we all want is for the game to be bug free, of course. We know that even in F1 sim racing, the even official championship held across the local area network, there's still drivers who got disconnected and have to raise compromises because of disconnection issues, game glitches. Most notably, Ismail Fassi, one of the pro racing drivers, he got disconnected in the finale race, and obviously he lost 8 places. And obviously, in the league race with that sort of caliber, well, it is quite damaging to see it happen. And obviously in the gym, I'm not saying it's not going to be really impactful, but obviously any sort of games glitches or software issues that's out of control will always be damaging, and it will always cause a bit of a psychological impact towards how you approach the race.
Yes, and while we are speaking, the drivers are now out on their formation lap, trying to warm up their tires. So I guess everyone is really enjoying this very last formation lap they do have before their very last start they will get to enjoy for this season itself before we go towards the F1 24 game. And I do hope, like you said, the game to be bug free. And because once it's bug free, it becomes more enjoyable for all of us to really have proper wheel to wheel battle and not worrying that the person might suddenly disconnect and just appear right in front of you or like in your car itself.
Oh, interestingly, speaking of which, we want to get into bug free, but we also want races to be incident free as well, because we want to see races to be determined, race results to be determined by the raw pace of each driver and not because of external incidents that are out of the race control as well. Obviously, we want clean racing, we want proper wheel-to-wheel action, as little DNFs as possible, smooth races, and that's the goal of our races here in the JAF. And one interesting point to note is that, well, Simple is not here, and I don't know why. We don't see any Papaya McLarens here.
Simple, it's serving a race ban because of his last incident that he has at the very last lap. So right now, drivers are lining up on the grid with a lot of drivers not really lining up properly.
Yeah, they just want to. Well, maybe they just practice parking. Maybe on practice parking. During the season offline, but now 5 laps are on. And for one last time in 2023, or I should say the F1 23 game, we are lights out here in Qatar. Go, go, go! We are racing 12 cars ahead to start off our final race of season 6. And looks like Sky is going to jump on yellow right. And looks like Ferrari, as I said, they're trying to make a move for yellow right as well. But not quite. Sky's a jump, covers him off. But on the hard tires, Sky has the lead. And that's important. He's on the hard tires. He needs to get past some. He is past the medium time runners. And what he needs to do now is just defend for all his life if he wants to win this race from Mercedes. Drivers are really going wide into turn 4. And pretty even Stevens across all drivers here. No such instance we see a car going wide. I think I see a bit two Alpha Tauris going wide. There's Clive. Nice to find as well. So a bit of an argy-bargy there. But still, it is status quo at the front. We have Sky ahead of Yellow Right and SS38. Both Hasses getting a jump on Ryan, who's down to 6th position. So good stuff from Haas here. I think they can work together there. But like of Raman and Heejin.
Yeah, and I would say Sky did a perfect start for him to go right to P1. And Yellow Rex now main aim is to try to catch up to Sky and not really exceed any track limits. Because it's very easy to improve.
I don't think he's worried about Sky now. I think he's worried behind him. Likes of SS38. Because SS38 is just all the way behind him. And well, he's thinking of attacking and defending at the same time. It's not going to be easy for Yellow Right. But he is on a better tire, and he's already alongside Sky, and we'll have the jump on Sky. When Sky's about to lose 2 places here because SS38 really sneaky there, and he's going wheel to wheel all the way to turn 2, turn 3. Oh, he's trying to go around the side. Oh, the front wheels, and well, that was proper wheel to wheel action, and it's still a little bit. Now I think the Haas is getting involved as well. There's a move, sneaky move for Ramen up to 10th place. Oh, that was opportunistic by Ramen. Heejin also getting opportunistic and grabs the team look on to see. Oh, Heejin runs wide. SS is going to get him back. But opportunistic move for the 2 Asses. The teamwork is on. And now, we're going to see both Asses in front of the Ferrari and it's covered. Great job for the Haas team here. I think that's the team we're going to all see here in the JAF. We want to see both drivers work together, regardless whether you're a reserve driver or not. You just work together to achieve the common goal and first higher up the field. That's one thing I'm pretty happy with Haas team tonight.
Yeah, and Haas team is really doing very well. But I do hope, as we are talking about this, look who's at P6. That's the one.
Oh, it's really past Ryan. So could that be Team Odyssey and Williams? Ryan probably getting Destel to go past him. Race entry of Williams getting Destel to make a charge on hard tires because they know Destel's pace. And there we have it. Destel is now currently holding the fastest up in the race. And all they need, let's not forget, maybe I can remind you that Williams only need to score 15 points to secure the Constructors' Championship. So that's all they need. That's all they need tonight. And they have to work together here. They don't need to get any sort of unnecessary risk. All the race they need to take is all up in front between Yellow Rank and Sky. I think the gap is getting very close here. Sky, albeit on the hard tires, is closing in on the Red Bull. It looks like Verstappen and Hamilton in 2021 again here.
Yeah, and I don't think that it will be that hard for the Williams team to really fight for the second place on the constructors. So I mean, Destil himself is such a fast driver. So as long as he doesn't make any mistake and Ryan makes just battle it out, keep his race clean, I think Williams will easily secure the second place of the constructors.
Of course, and still, Sky's still following Yellow Rank, and the gap's still down to 7/10. Oh, Yellow Rank's gone white. That's definitely a warning. He doesn't need to do more of that. But what he needs to do is just shake Sky off his DRS, because that is definitely going to irritate him. Oh, Destil is all the back of SS8 now. Look at Destil. Destil's over the back with DRS around the DRS trade. But now, are we going to see? Oh, Team Orders there. Heejin goes there to Ramen. And now, interesting here, Hassel playing a bit of a Carlos Sainz game here, using him to just defend against Destil. Could this be another Singapore 23 moment? But the both Hasses are using themselves to defend against the charging Destil. I don't know, but it seems it's going to be it's a good lesson learned from in real life Formula 1. They're now using both of their cars to defend against one of the best drivers here in the league. But is it a matter of time before it's going to be futile? I think so, because it's going around the outside. SS in Destil, and I think time is up. They bang wheels. Destil has it. So, how long do you think it's going to take for both Hasses to defend against the... Oh, there's something going on. It's a Ferrari. SS38, he spun. Oh no. So, yeah, you're right there. Easy to look. Well, you may have a lot of runoff area here, but that does not preclude you from making any sort of mistakes and falling victim to a spin of your own.
Yeah, with lots of wheel-to-wheel battle happening all around the track, it's very important to make sure that you keep your throttle input nice and smooth and not really accelerate too hard, which can cause wheel spin.
Well, the pressure is really on now, because now we see Destil trying to go around the outside of Ramen. And I think, oh, Ramen's defending really well here. He just comes off, just shuts it on Destil. I've never seen this before there. Well, if you're going to give me, if you're going to say who's the driver of the day in this early stages, I'm going to give it to Ramen. Making the charge ahead of Ramen, making the charge ahead of Heejin, nothing is teammate true, and it's playing the ultimate team right here, protecting Heejin, and most importantly, this is hindering Destil's charge. This could be pivotal in the overall Constructors' Championship here, because that could be precious points for Williams, and that could be, if Roshan was watching this right now, he would be thanking the Haas team so much for retaining that spot in the Constructors' Championship, because they know Destil is the biggest risk right now, and they need the Haas team all the while to defend against charging Destil in 5th place. Currently, are they doing enough? No, not quite. Because if Destil is in 5th place, with Ryan in 7th, they would gain, oh, Destil's fastest time as well, so 17 points. That's 2 points into Alpine. So as it stands, Alpine will have 201 points, and Williams will have 203. So Williams, as it stands, will still finish on they'll still be Constructors Champions, unless Ryan makes a mistake. But now, is it going to be too late for Ramen? As Ramen has anything left in his pocket? Not quite. Destil charges in, and then now it's going to be Heejin next time, unless they both has drivers can think of something. They can play a bit of chess game against Destil.
Yeah, but I feel that Destil is really playing the wise game, where he chooses the right spots to do his overtaking and really just goes behind fast drivers, especially in Sector 2 itself, and not really take any risky move which can result to him in damages or loss of lap times.
Sorry, but Destil, he has that confidence. He is relying on the other drivers to be really showing some decent racecraft. He's trying to rely on the other drivers to be as clean as possible. And if you can race at such a close distance, if Destil's really race this close to you, I think if you're a Heejin, you'll be thinking that, yes, I'm a clean driver. It is a good certification. It is a good endorsement of your clean driving skill. So you might not be quick, but at least you can tell yourself you have a good racecraft going on. So at the stand, Robin is dropped to the back, dropped all in the second off Destiel. So Destiel is clearly launch attack, pass anti and charges complete. There we go. The is wide open for Destiel. He's just trying to fight back right now. There's nothing happens in this Arsenal and Destiel in the podium place is a Sky. A Sky in yellow right now for the lead. And I don't think they're going to be fighting this much because Destiel's closing on him. Destiel, all the while they want the Red Bull and the Mercedes to fight. Because he is closing in. Look at that. 7/10 of a second now. He himself, shuts the door. And Destiel just closing in on Sky in yellow right. A three-way fight for the lead now, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Sky and Destiel now just happening within 6/10 of a second. Oh my goodness me. A three-way fight for the lead now. Look at this. Sky, yellow right and Destiel. And I think this is really, really close. I don't know. This is interesting here. Well, and now he's just joining a party as well. Sky, do you think he's just trying to sandbag a little bit to get a pack all together?
It's hard to tell because I mean both Haas drivers are together right now, so I guess the Heejin might be helping Ramen out to make sure they keep in tap with the top 3 drivers which are battling, because if these top 3 drivers make any mistakes, they'll be able to get into the podium position very easily.
It's possible because they're so close to each other. Treats each other. We have a Mercedes versus Red Bull versus Williams now. Are they going to go 3 out of turn 1? I reckon so. They're still trying to use the same strategy as what he did on when he put on Heejin earlier on. I don't think it works. This guy's going to put on a fight, but he has no match. No match on the traction, and that traction goes to Williams. That's still with a better racecraft, better driver, up into second place, down the inside. Sky's the look. Sky takes a bit of it, and I think that's about it. They're still up in the second, and I think only a matter of time before Destiel is our new race leader. And as it stands, I think Roshan Robot, you really don't want to be looking at this because Destiel, the reserve driver, the lord of reserve drivers, is now bagging the Constructors' Championship for Williams. And I think Alpine would definitely do some better luck here if only we see Destiel do it, take over Roshan Robot's place and race for Alpine. Say, what do you think about it? Do you think it's going to be more beneficial if we have Ryan and Destiel head-to-head with both drivers in different teams?
I think each of them showed their capabilities and strengths, and it's very beneficial for any teams to have them in their roster. So, I mean, Destiel himself is really showing us how capable he is, especially on the hards, being able to push so much and keep banging in the fastest lap for the race itself. It isn't easy, and there's a bit of wheel banging action between Taco and Heejin.
Oh, Taco and Heejin. Taco and Ramen, isn't it?
Taco and Ramen, my bad.
Guys, you can see, well, based on the positions change, as you can see on the stream, Destiel already up 8 places. 8 places from 10th on the grid. Taco Mesa as well. Where did he come from? He started way down 11th, he's up to 5th. And certainly, well, I would put this to you, but Heejin and Taco Mesa, don't forget, we also, other than the Constructors Champion, we do have a battle for third here in the Drivers' Championship as well, and it's gonna be Mercedes versus Haas. Well, how are we gonna help? How is Haas gonna help Heejin here, and how's Mercedes gonna help Taco here? It's gonna be, well, 2 in 1. As you see, nice to find this a bit of a tangle there. I think something happened right below. I have no idea what happened, but yeah, Chimkin is spun. I was a bit of yellow flag there, but yeah, Chimkin is spun.
So currently, so if you do look out at the timing board, Yellow Red has a 3 seconds penalty, making Destiel the
effective race leader.
Yes, correct. And with Ramen overtook Taco, which helps Heejin to secure his 3rd place on the driver standings. So Taco has to battle again with Ramen in order to secure his 3rd place.
Car off, and Clive again. Clive is...
I think Taco might have disconnected.
Yeah, he
That
is
is why.
disconnected. Oh, comments discussed. I did mention about F1 esports races disconnecting, and now we have actually one of our championship contenders disconnecting. So, well, the gap now, Tekra Mesa has finally joined, but the gap, well, between Tekra and Heejin is now under 5 seconds. It's a huge loss.
But as long as Tekro managed to be able to join as soon as possible, I feel that he's able to catch up to Heejin. It's possible for him to catch up to Heejin, so it isn't a big worry for him. But he has to connect back to the game as soon as possible.
Just one question I want to ask right now. How is Yellow Right defending so well against Destiel? Destiel is still behind Yellow Right. And, well, how is Yellow Right defending? I'm amazed.
I have a feeling that Destil isn't really pushing as hard because look at his ERS, it's 97%, meaning with this 3 seconds penalty, he knows that he's the current first position, and he might just try to coast towards take the race a bit more chill and just really coast behind Yellow Rag.
Well, one driver's not taking the chill. It's Heejin. Heejin now around the outside in the turn 1. He's using all the battery he needs to get past, and he has got past Sky. So Heejin, oh, what happened to Sky? Sky's on third? Oh, this one's fast as well. Do you see what happened to Sky? I saw him teleport backwards.
I think Yellow Rag fell all the way back to P4.
Yeah, so what's going on? Do you think there's some kind of connection issues in the lobby or something? I don't remember seeing any overtakes for these two drivers.
I'm not too sure.
Heejin's under second now.
Yeah, so yes. So we're not sure with what's wrong with the race itself, but if we do follow what is shown to us, currently Destil is first, followed by Heejin and then Sky.
A yellow flag again. Oh, this Clive again. Donuts. Down 10-15. But they call safety car. Oh, it's doing more donuts. It's extended yellow flag. I don't call it. Oh, they hit the wall. They hit the wall. Oh, almost hitting the wall. But the car's stranded there. And you do not want to be parked there for a long period of time because they're going to get disqualified by the in-game steward. Is he going to go back? Oh, the careful with his car. Watch your blind spot there, Clive Tan.
Yep, he's doing it nice and slow, making sure not to impede anyone.
Oh, no,
But
no.
currently Heejin overtook Destil.
There we go. Amazing jump by Heejin. Clive just trying to get this there. And after an extended Russ Swift drift show here in Qatar, Clive Tan into the pits because I believe he has damaged those A-lap medium tires, and it is a race to forget for Avatar here. But now, I think, as what he said, Destiel will be looking forward to get some revenge on Heejin. Guys are going to get some revenge on Destiel. We do have a true A5 for the lead, ladies and gentlemen, as they have the whole entourage entering through turns 8 and 9. Clive Tan decided to retire in the pits. He decides this race is over, and that's it. 11 drives remain. So, yeah. Meanwhile, going back to the top few, the top 4 separated by less than 2 seconds. It might be a bit of a four-way fight for the lead here. And, oh, why is Clive coming out again? Oh, this car's going to get parked on the circuit? Oh, are we going to get it? I don't know. Is the game going to cost us a little bit of a safety car here? Could this be a problem? Easy settle.
I'm not too sure, but I don't think it would happen because if it does, there will be a safety car warning coming out right away. But one thing that I do notice is that Heejin has only 6% of ERS left, while Destil has 95%.
Now,
Meaning,
first on the schedule pit is coming in, so it's rapid.
yeah, so actually I feel that Heejin might have pushed a bit too hard with his ERS because the other two drivers behind him has quite a lot of ERS, meaning that he's gonna be sitting down. Yes.
Yeah, let's get Heejin again. His lights are flashing. No longer. He's trying to halve his energy, but he can try to use that 6/10 of gap to his Destiel to actually strategize, do some calculations on how do you want to use that rain energy.
Yeah, but there's one thing for sure that Qatar has shown us a wonderful race where we have 4 drivers battling for the first positions, and we might see Taco joining them soon if he managed to keep up with his pace.
Yeah, of course. Keep an eye on the gap. The current gap between Takermans and the tail end of this train is 3.5 seconds, 3.8 seconds. Takermans are clearly not liking those hard jump power tires. He would definitely want to try to pit soon. Well, Ramen is in the pit. I think Ramen might be trying to do the undercut, and he's now right behind Knives to find. She should be getting past. Oh, Yellow Rag has got another 3-second penalty. That's not what you needed. So a total of 6 seconds of a yellow rag. He definitely, well, he has pace, but just keeps falling afoul of the track limits. And what do I say about the track limits being a pivotal role here in Qatar? Well,
Yeah, Heejin has been using a lot of ERS to ensure that he keeps his first place, but meanwhile, Destil is just chilling behind him.
yeah, just
So he might be sort of playing like a passive-aggressive role.
well,
Probably
probably just using Heejin as well, just benefiting from his DRS. He likes to sit behind that the Haas. Well, Destil needs to be careful not to overheat his tires though.
Yeah, but I mean, judging by Destil's racecraft, I do feel that he knows what he's doing. Oh, then there's a safety
What
car.
happened? Because Chimkin, is it Chimkin? Yes, Chimkin's lost his front wing at turn 50. Oh, he lost our pit entry. So Chimkin has hit the wall on the pit entry, and that has caused a safety car. Do you know who's? Oh, Roman's got a drive-through penalty, and that undercut that has conducted has come down to nothing because he has now a drive-through penalty. We were so excited for Ramen and how that undercut's going to work out for him, but turns out it's come down to nothing. Oh my goodness me, and look at the twists and turns that this Qatar Grand Prix has come in for us.
Yeah, and I think can be quite beneficial for Heejin because right now he can save up his ERS all the way back to 100% and also change his tires, making it a bit much of a even playing field between him and Destil. But we also have Sky right behind going into the pits.
Everybody.
Yeah, so all the hard tires drivers are into the pits, fitting
In
on
fact,
the
even
medium.
those on the mediums as well, mediums and hards, everyone just pitting. All the top 7, even I think the top 8 as well. Ramen's already pitted, so it's not, but he has a drive-through penalty to surf. But yes, everybody, not just the top 7, everybody who thinks it's going to be possible to pit, they're all coming in. Well, it's a no-brainer. Surf the pit, get everything sorted out, and now everybody will have a fresh set of medium or hard tires all the way to the end for the final 14 laps. So in a way, it's like football, dude. You know, it's halftime right now, lap 15 or 29, and everyone has a new set of tires. It is going to be another start, fresh start, but this time around we have Heejin at the front of the queue. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at the position changes as of this midway mark. Heejin up 5 spots, Desio up 8, Takermasa up 6. The biggest loser so far is Ryan, who's down in 8th place. But does that matter so much? Because Desio's in 2nd, I believe. Well, it's still Constructors Champion for Williams, thanks to Desio.
But one thing to take note too is that Taco and Heejin is fighting for the 3rd place on the driver standing, and right now Heejin is at 1st, while Taco is at 5th. So with this result, if it doesn't change, Heejin will be the one securing the 3rd place on the driver standing.
Of course. Remember the gap between both drivers is just 3
points. Yeah.
Apparently, so Heejin just needs to defend that spot with all his might, or maybe not even all his might. He just needs to finish in a podium spot, top 3. If Taco wants to stay in 5th place, but he needs to watch where Taco is on the standings. Maybe use Ramen. No, Ramen is a drive-through penalty, so he cannot use his teammate as assistance. That penalty drive-through. So it's all down to him. But the benefit of being in 1st place is that you get to see who is running, whoever was running from 2nd to 5th on your MFD. So you can see where Sakura is running, and so long Taco Master does not appear on his MFD, Heejin, as long as he's in a spot, he knows it's safe.
Yeah, but if I'm PG, I just make sure I try my very best to score as much points as possible, because in terms of tech roll, if I'm PG, I know that I can't control how tech roll will be racing like and what position he will end up in. So as long as I tried my best, I think I did the best I could to secure the third place.
Of course, just drive. Don't think too much, just drive. And obviously, Heejin never won a race in JAF before. If it stands, Heejin this will become his first ever win in the JAF, and I'm pretty sure that'll be really monumental here. Let's not forget, in the Miami Grand Prix, we have Lando Norris finally winning his first Grand Prix, and we all know how much a first win matters. The psychological impact that brings you into the next season is so big, especially if you have your first win.
Yep. I do feel a bit that the chicken might be a bit at the downside, because he had to push a bit harder to catch up to the field, which causes him to scrub his tires a bit more compared to the rest. So I do hope that it doesn't compromise him too much in terms of using this medium tires finishing the race.
No, I don't think so, Reese. But he got a second chance. He got a second chance there. He lost his entire front wing. If for instance, the safety car didn't come out, he's going to be out and running. But now, well, he's been given a second chance, and I think Jim can, given his pace and confidence he has to qualify, we know he has pace, he will be willing to use all the second chance to carve his way up through the field. And especially now with the safety car peeling in and out of this lap. Now, Heejin's the de facto safety car. He'll be controlling the pace right now. Let's see when he does drop the hammer, and whether he can actually, well, he can catch Destiel napping. I think, well, that'd be huge if he, oh no, Destiel's just distance. Oh, he goes now. I think he's caught napping. Great start from Heejin. Got skies over the back of Destiel. Fantastic from Heejin. Oh, what the move. And now, Sky down inside Destiel. And look at it, yellow rack. Trying to make a double overtake. Does he do it? Yellow rack. Oh, it does not. But Destiel losing 2 places, and oh, no, he bangs you there. But Destiel stays in 4th, and I think he just got a nice run down into the next corner with the whole train of cars right behind him. And I think that's all Sky wants. Oh, Destiel. Well, I mean, Destiel must be cursing at Heejin right now, because, well, he's lost it so far. And that, once again, it gives Alpine a glimmer of hope that he can still win the Constructors' title. They just need more drama like this to occur in the remainder of the race in order to secure the title here at Easy Stars.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the very start, so I do feel that everyone is not really showing their true pace yet, because, like you said, some got caught napping, and I do feel that Destiel will soon be up there fighting for the first position right away. But people right in front of him, so for example, Sky and Yellow Rack aren't the easiest driver to overtake, because they are that good of a driver. So it really has to depend on the racecraft they do have.
Of course, Heejin now leads us away to commence the 18th lap out of 29 now. The top 5 cars still running line on stern. Sky has now the fastest lap of the race. Destiel doesn't even need the DRS. Kind of challenge Yellow Rack. Does it make the move stick? He does make the move stick, and it's up in the podium spots already. So, once again, the pendulum swings in favor of all for Silver Strategy using our penalty. Oh, sorry to interrupt. Robin, have you realized something? He's not service drive-through, even at this stage. This could be dangerous here for Haas. Well, Robin has pace, but, well, do you think it's time for him to service drive-through? Or do you forget about it? I know, I think this is dangerous here for Haas, because he might get disqualified.
Yes, he has to serve his drive-through, if not he will get a black flag. And yeah, I do hope that he do remember that he has a drive-through penalty. If not, it will be very bad for the Haas team itself, because they'll be missing out on more drivers scoring the points.
well, pass. Let's have a quick reminder where they stand in the constructors. They are in 5th place with 118 points. The closest competitor is Red Bull, 123, and Red Bull is in yellow rank, in 5th. But certainly, we all know yellow rank is a quicker driver from the Heejin. And 4, well, we haven't been talking about this head-to-head here for the battle for 4th in constructors, but if Haas, once they beat Red Bull in 4th place, they need to outscore Red Bull by 5 points today here. I'm pretty sure, well, that's what he's trying to do. He wants the 4th place, and he wants to keep that 1st place because he knows every point is important. But look at the wheel-to-wheel action mechanic here. A 5-way fight for the race lead, and this could be swinging in anyone's favor. Or 4th in the championship. Look at this! 5 cars now. Donuts at 4. I don't think it's the normal overtaking spot. Oh, thankfully they respect each other, but those guys got a trees against time penalty as well. So that's someone help his cause. Heejin is still without a penalty and still leading the race. Stout defense put it on by the Haas driver. And look at this, is definitely entertainment right on the screens. Here the finale in Qatar. Look at that. I can't believe it. And Ramen finally took his drive through, so Haas is now safe. All Haas needs to know is just rely on Heejin to keep his defense going and making sure that he does not make any mistake or in the straight of cars. And I'm pretty sure, well, we told it was the driver of the day, Ramen. I think, well, Haas is my, well, team of the season, not just team of the day. Just fantastic work done by the Haas team here. We haven't been talking about them. They're only second 4th in the constructors, but look at this defense. Like, if he manages to win the race, easy tells, I'm pretty sure this will be a win worth celebrating.
Yes, but right behind him is Tekro. Tekro has managed to come all the way to P4, and now he's part of the battle, fighting for the first place.
You're gonna go down the inside? He's going down the inside of Heejin already? Oh, look at that! Wow, so Tekro is now back in the play for 3rd in the standings in the Drivers' Championship. The math keeps going on, and look at that, I'm already mashing my calculator on what are the possible permutations here. Permutations that we're not thinking of, and all the possible possibilities that are going to come in the next 9 laps. The thing is, Heejin and Takumas. Takumas has hit! He's hit Heejin, and Heejin spun a little bit, and he's lost out to both Takumas and Desio. And do you think that is going to be an incident that's going to go to the sewers?
Yeah, this might be possible, because it can be quite controversial because it's Tekro hitting Heejin, and both of them are fighting for the 3rd place on the driver standing.
Oh, well, they have a healthy battle so far, but when it comes to the actual prize money, actual placements in the standings for the championship in the final race, emotions will run high. And I think, oh, Sky's got another penalty. Oh, they're certainly going to put it on the running now. And what did I say about track limits in Qatar? And potentially, the championship might be decided purely based on penalties here.
Yep. And we can see that's still trying to mount an attack on Tekro, and he managed to overtake it before the first corner. And Tekro will most probably follow closely to make sure that he's within striking distance to Destil. Meanwhile, that's happening. Heejin is also slowly closing the gap towards Tekro, and things are gonna go back like how it started, where all these 4 drivers will start battling all out together once again.
Now within the range of Sky. Well, we all know Sky's 6-second penalty to his name right now. Oh, this bad exit through 10-5 for Sky. So now, once again, as what it said, easy puzzle. 5 cars all the way. There's a 5-car DRS train for the lead of the race.
And I'm still kind of waiting for Destil to really unleash his inner demon, showing us what kind of lap times he's able to set, because right now he's having about 95% to 100% of ERS, not really using much ERS in his lap time. So I do wonder what kind of laps he is able to set.
He wants to go now. Yeah, he's heard you. He's trying to go now. He wants to show you what kind of pace he has. Oh, just barely. Oh, that was smart by Destil. He knows the DRS is there, and he ostensibly just holds back for the time being. But look at that. Mercedes working together to get Destil, and it's now attacking Destil, but Destil positions his car perfectly. And
that was a little bit of
but Destil still gets it. Now he just needs to build that gap over to one side, so that Mercedes will not have DRS over them. But now he first needs to defend from the slipstream. Imagine, oh, there's something going off. There's that front wing going off. I saw some debris flying off someone's car from the turn 4. Do you see that?
I'm not too sure which, but I mean, with so much close wheel battles, I mean, for sure people will start to lose a bit of front wing. Because I mean, just now when Tackle accidentally tapped Hyujin, Desto actually sort of slammed behind Tackle's rear wing, and I did check whether Desto had any damage. Like, thankfully, he didn't suffer any wing damage to his car. But Tackle is really trying to mount an attack towards Desto and really get that first place.
This guy as well is double Mercedes attack on Williams here. And close the 5 in front. Less than a second here. And guess who's joining this? SS38. They get now 1.3 seconds, 1.0 seconds. And what do we have here? A 6-way fight for the win. 6 cars going for the win on the final race of season 6. What? How do we conclude the season here? I think this might be our best finale yet there. Look at that.
I mean, with the nature of this track where lots of wheel-to-wheel battle is possible, it's really a good way to end the season and really show off everyone's driving capability. And I mean, look at this. People are swapping left, right, center for all kinds of driving positions. So it has really showed us what drivers we have at JAF and what potentials they are capable of.
Because I mean, Ryan's starting closing on SS3 as well. The gap now 2.5 seconds. SS3 is now officially within this DRS train. So yes, there you have it. 6 cars fighting for the win for the grand finale of season 6 of the JAF. How many laps to go? 6. Well, I don't intend to do the number play here, but I think this is going to bode well for a grand finale here for season 6 of the JAF in the F1 23 game. And I think, hold your breath, everybody. It is going to be a storming finale. Every driver, I think so far they're just keeping tabs of each other. They're just trying to conserve energy, like what Dastel's doing. They all have different strategies, and I think ultimately this whole race will be determined by game of chess. Let's see Desio getting past Techromancer. For now, I'm not making any shouting. I'm not shouting it out because I know Eric for now is still a game of chess. But oh look, it's a good action that we're seeing here. It's as if you can't decide whether you want to be first or second here. You just had to pick a spot.
Yeah, because in Qatar there's lots of different lines that is possible for all drivers of different levels. So it really makes an interesting race itself, because you can see drivers going to wheel through different corners and really not losing much time to one another. So I really love watching races happening in this track, on and also offline. It makes such a good race.
Oh, a bit of contact by Yellow Ray, almost running to the back of the Sky. That's what was called on stream as well. So hopefully no damage done to the Red Bull unit of the Mercedes. But still, I think it's still okay for the drivers. It's going to be just hanging back for now. Perhaps maybe overheating his tires. So yeah, this just needs to pull it back a little bit.
Yeah, oh, there was a bit of wheel banging action between Destil and Tekro. Tekro managed to really save up a bit of ERS. Oh, safety car is out.
Oh, safety car, what happened?
Safety car is out.
Oh, what happened? It's causing a safety car. I really do wonder. Cars into the pits. You have Chimkin again into the pits. So, interesting. Why are drivers pitting? Is it a resultant? Is it? Oh yeah, Chimkin lost his front wing. Chimkin lost his front wing again. So, once again, safety car caused by Iham Chimkin. And
I do wonder any of the top 5 drivers
guys,
to take
guys,
the top hit.
I don't interrupt you about this, but this has caused drivers to go and pit for fresh soft tires. trying to shoot at Chimkin. Imagine. Well, if you do remember Nelson Piquet, Crashgate, back in 2008, Singapore. Same thing. He's now on fresh soft tires. He's now in a tire advantage of the drivers in front. And if they do not know, if they don't know what Chimkin's doing, and they do not pit, Chimkin could be in a prime position to win this race because he's a much fresher tire.
I think it's gonna be very hard for Chimkum though, because even though he might be on the soft, but trying to go through 9 drivers right at the front when the drivers tackle pitted. I'm not
What's going on? They know what's going on. Oh, it's a Mercedes double stack. Mercedes are double stacking.
Oh, this might not be beneficial for both of them.
Oh, and they're so close. Look at that. He's getting held up. He's held up. He's held up. Sky's held up. Oh, it's clearly on the Ferrari as well. So the Ferrari of SSD is going to jump Sky. He's going to jump Sky. He's going to jump Sky. So disaster for the Mercedes. We thought they have good double stacking capability as what they did with Hamilton and Bottas back in China, 2019. But this around the esports context, no, they've crossed each other, and now Sky's all the way down in where is he? P7. But we also do have a few drivers who are opting not to pit. Desiel, Yellow Right, Kijin, and for sales strategy as well. So a myriad of different strategies here.
I do feel personally that what the decision made by Destil and Heejin might be the better decision, because there's only 3 laps left, and I mean safety car might only go back into the pit maybe lap 27 or 28, so they just have to survive that 1 or 2 laps in order to secure their position. So I mean, look at Tekro. Tekro has dropped all the way to 5th positions. At most, he's able to climb up all the way to P3 if things goes well for him. Because I mean, drivers right at the top 4 will be trying their best to defend their positions, even despite having the older tires.
Because it stands Drivers' Championship right now, Heejin will still take it away from Tekro Mensa. Remember, Heejin only is outscored Mensa by 3 points. Sorry, 4 points in order for him to take the 3rd place away from him. Tekro Mensa is now 5th, whereas Jimmy's got a penalty. So, well, yeah. But meanwhile, yes, Heejin running 3rd, yes, he's going to take 15. Tekro Mensa 10, so Heejin's still going to take 10th place in the overall championship standings. But right now, let's have a look at the penalties that every driver has clocked. So, penalties-wise, Yellow Rock has 6 seconds, Facile Strategy with 9, Sky with 6, Ryan and Chimkin with 3. And if all drivers are going to bunch all together like this, we are going to have drivers without penalties potentially finishing higher up the order. So you're right here, Easy Sasso. This race is going to be decided on who pays attention, who respects the track limit the most. Because those who are having penalties, the likes of Facile Strategy and Yellow Right, they are going to finish way down the order because the safety car is not coming in yet. We are only going to get 2 laps of racing, and there's only so much you can pull away within those 2 laps.
Yeah, so this will make Tekro finishing at P3 if he doesn't do any overtaking. So, but I feel that Tekro's main aim is to really finish ahead of Heejin in order to secure the 3rd place on the driver's standing. So I do wonder what kind of racecraft is gonna be able to show us to make sure that he finished on top of Heejin.
Well, if you remember, Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, really controversial final lap in Abu Dhabi 2021. He only took nothing more than 5 corners to get Lewis Hamilton into the lead. This time around, Tekro Mensa will have 2 laps, albeit now having a driver right in front of him. So, traffic management, crucial here for Tekro Mensa. Let's see how he's gonna handle it.
At this, I do hope the safety car is gonna come in, so at least we get to see a bit of racing action. But at this rate, they only might have safety car in this lap. So meaning we have 2 laps of racing to be done. So Heejin has to be a bit more careful because as Tekro has the newer tires compared to him and SS38, so Tekro is gonna make use of his tires fully to make sure he's able to finish on top of Heejin or even challenge Destil for the race win.
Remember, looking at the tires so far, let's have a look at the tires. Top 4 drivers, the reason why they are in the top 4 is because they opted not to pit. The rest all behind, all the way from Tekro and Ramen, have pitted. And Destil, you know what he's doing? It's gonna be sandbagging all the way, and look at how close to the pack is. Look at this! It's gonna be another Tuscan 2020. Oh no, he didn't go! He goes! He goes, finally! Heejin has to jump on the yellow right. Heejin is very good on race restarts this season, and he's gonna make a move! He's gonna make a move on him! Oh, he got too high! Oh, the big contact! Destil's lost it again! And now Heejin has taken the lead on this race. And look at this! Once again, Heejin en route to his inaugural victory in JF, and look at that yellow right, he's going very aggressive, but all drivers, it seems the race has started again. It's a 2-lap sprint to the end, but a mixture of tire strategies, and look at Tekro is going very wide. Drivers over with 2 Promis collide, 3 1 to 10-5, more farming 4 minutes and 1 ramen, cars all over the place. I can't believe it, this is happening in the final 2 laps here, easy turtle.
Yes, with everyone being so tightly bunched up together, it's very hard to navigate through the circuits at Qatar. And yeah, Sky has been able to make full use of the restart.
He knows the game motivational boost against Destil. Destil's not gonna give it up. Destil is over pride, but the bang wheels, but fresher tire prevails. Sky gets past, and now the whole trio of cars behind. They know they only have 1 left to get Destil. Destil is now under pressure for Yellow Rank, under pressure for Tekro Mensa, but Tekro Mensa with that fresher tire, he's just trying to carve his way. It's like going on a motorbike in a Bangkok traffic jam. Tekro Mensa is getting past everybody, and he's just finding a way through. Where do I go? Left, right, I don't know where, but it's just like a traffic jam. You're on a motorbike, you just have to get past this traffic. Once he knows the championship sake. Oh, the bang wheels, and look at that. The Red Bull just holding station, and all this happening, and just helping Destil's cause is also helping. It's gonna have Williams' cause as well, because Destil surely at this point he will be crowned, and now down the inside it goes Tekro Mensa yellow right. Does he have enough time to get him? Sky has the lead. Sorry to interrupt, Sky's the lead on Heejin. Sky is our new race leader, and Sky, we haven't talked about him, but he has not won a race before as well. And now, no matter what happens, we will have a new race winner here in the grand finale of the 6th season of the JAF. And Facile Strategy's out. Facile Strategy's also went off. And once again...
But at this race, Heejin's gonna be the winner because Sky has penalty.
Oh yes, penalty, yes! So, Heejin once again. Heejin, I can't believe it. He's gonna win it.
Oh, but Destil is right behind him though.
And Kenny is going to be a photo finish, and on 14 lap old medium compound tires, gonna make it the flag. But Heejin, photo finish, is it gonna ruin his penalty? Destil, no, he doesn't get it. But 62 milliseconds, the gap between Heejin and Tekro Mensa, and Heejin 25 points. Heejin with that win over Destil and Tekro Mensa. Heejin takes it. Heejin is third in the championship, but more importantly, that first win for Heejin, I'm certain, has done it. Driver of the day? No, that's still driver of the day, but still, you can't deny it. Heejin with a phenomenal win in the season finale here in Qatar for the pride of JF, and that spells the future for future seasons ahead in the JF. Congratulations to our podium finishers. Easy Turtle, give us your thoughts about that race. This was an exciting 29 laps, and why is Heejin a female? I don't know. I don't discriminate against female drivers, but but can you imagine having a female Formula 1 driver in future from Singapore?
I mean, from this being our very last race we have, for this season, it has really been a very spectacular race for everyone to witness because there's constant battles for the very first positions, and we can see there's so many wheel-to-wheel actions through so many corners, especially throughout the whole entire sector 2, which it requires lots of racecraft for all drivers to be able to really navigate through the track nicely and properly without um, causing any accident. And I mean, Heejin has really put out such a spectacular racecraft, showing us how he is able to defend from the likes of Destil, Sky, and also Yellow Rag. And you have drivers such as Tekro starting off at P11, finishing in the podium positions. But sadly, he's a bit far off to Heejin to compete for the third place in the driver standing itself.
Of course, I've never seen such a race before, and if you look at the overall race results, it's interesting that taking note of this, but the top 5 drivers, I made an interesting observation about them, but number one, they've all gained places from their starting grid spots. They've all started below, well down the order, and they've finished right all the way in front. And if you didn't notice, drivers who started first, second, third, and fourth, they did qualify well ahead, but like, well, they're finishing in the bottom half. And why is that? And that's because of penalties. Whoever did not finish the top 5, they have minimally a 3-second time penalty to boot. So easy to I was telling you in the pre-qualifying show that this race will be judged based on penalties, and indeed it is. Drivers in the top 5, they may not have the raw pace, but they did not get any penalties overall, and that was pivotal in determining the overall results of this race.
Yeah, I mean, if let's say all the penalties are wiped off from the result board, I would say Sky really put out a fantastic show, challenging for the race win at the very last few laps. I mean, if I do feel a bit sad for him because if there isn't any penalty, he will be celebrating for what a super performance he has shown us today.
Of course, and obviously it's not easy. Um, um, obviously we're in a very tight twisted circuit, like Qatar. For most of the drivers, most of the circuit, most of the corners are fast flowing, very narrow, and the runoff areas is simply extra tarmac. So wow. Obviously, this is going to be a circuit. It's very easy to execute track limits, and that's the reason why we have drivers who are going really safe. Yeah, and that's why we have drivers who are playing safe during the qualifying session. So without further ado, well, I believe you want to have a look at the hot lap once it's ready. But yeah, we're talking about Heejin. He's definitely a driver who plays it safe most of the time, and I think this time he paid off. Finally, he has been consistently finishing on the podium, getting good points for the team, and I think this time around, fruit of his labor, he's got it. So easy to talk. I'm not sure if you've raced with Heejin before, but I think this is a result that has and Heejin to be proud of, and I think you're really happy to see a new race winner on crowning top step here in Qatar as well.
Yeah, I mean, Heejin has, throughout this whole entire season, he has been performing so well, always challenging for the podium position. If he isn't at the podium position, he's either finishing at fourth or fifth. So it really shows that he might be a potential world champion in the future JAF season. So he's a driver that to watch out for. And yeah, right now we're seeing his lap time for his hot lap. As you can see, his input are such smooth as butter. I mean, he's really not really. I think this lap wasn't the lap where he really push hard, but it really shows how well he's able to control his input, making everything so smooth and really not you scrubbing his tire too much, causing overheating of his tires. And because of this type of performance and driving technique he has, it really benefits him throughout this whole season itself.
Well, of course. Look at that. Well, it may not be the one that he's. I don't really can tell whether he's pushing hard or not because it is series overall fast. We did notice that he go for a second run. After this, but it was a more aggressive run. As we did agree, it was an aggressive run. His second run, but he lost time in the overall. First, he lost time in the first, second sectors, but even though we gained time in the final sector, we know that he's just that consistent. He's set very similar lap times. Both times were just only 100 of a second apart. But we all know that, well, Heejin definitely must have learned something through the two hard laps. We did say that qualifying was, in a way, practice for some of these drivers. I think he did have some learning pointers that maybe taking around patiently. Look at that. The patient maneuvers around the corners. He's just not clipping the curbs, just staying within the asphalt of the track. And I'm pretty sure that that took care of his tires really well. And I believe he took care. Well, I believe he took care of his tires very well during the race, and that's why he had the tire advantage over his rivals who were going wheel to wheel with him. And that calm and clinical drive from Heejin has enabled him to defend against the likes of such proficient drivers like Destiel. And but we all know Heejin, this is one of his weaker tracks, but still he has managed to prevail and last it out for a race win. So easy to, I think this is where the psychological element of racing comes in.
Yeah, and like you just now slightly mentioned, there's still name. I kind of do hope that he actually unleashed his race pace just now because he was being a bit conservative with his ERS, maybe trying to mount all the attack at the very last few laps. But because of the safety car, it kind of like reset the whole entire field, and everyone started off with 100% ERS altogether. So it the safety car didn't really benefit him that much, which might have upset his strategy itself. But keeping Destil at bay is very very hard. And I mean, Heejin and lots of driver, for example, Sky, Yellow Red, Tekro, has showed us what spectacular skills they have to challenge Destil.
Of course. Well, I think with the five car racer, I, I can't be certain, but some of you, um, I think like, do you think Desiel could be just sandbagging, just trying to give us a good finale for the season? We do know Desiel all the time. He has been pulling away from the pack, and this is probably I just see him not pulling away, just staying within the pack and just well trading positions. So I don't know if he's just doing us a favor here in the JF, just to give us some action. And if he is actually doing it, I gotta give him a good shout out to him. A thank you to him. Well, for perhaps sapping a little bit just to give us a bit more racing action. I think this was to give us the viewers a good favor here. For some good commentaries to be commenting about. But yes, good job to all the top five drivers to finish. In fact, good job to all 11 drivers who managed to finish the race because I believe each and every one of the 11 drivers has given us really some exciting racing action, and every one of those 11 drivers who participated today has a story to tell uh, themselves. It's a good finale for the season here, Izzy.
Yeah, and claps to all the drivers we have competing at JAF, including those that aren't able to attend today's race because they have put out a very nice show throughout this season itself. And it's a great way to end the season off with the race at Qatar because we are able to see so much wheel to wheel action. And I mean, I have never seen so much battling for the first positions for that long, and GF has managed to satisfy that need for some will-to-will actions. And I do hope the future seasons there will be more to come.
Of course. Definitely. Of course, this is our sixth season, and of course, there'll be more to come for sure. And overall, I think the success of JF has always been a very progressive one. It's not a simple it's not a simple jump all the way to the top, but I think it's going to be a really gradual one, whereby improvements is just being made slowly but steadily, and I think well, that applies to the drivers as well in terms of how their racecraft is, in terms of the raw pace, in terms of how they respect other drivers. I think we've come a long way since season one, and I think whatever we've observed just now, where 5 cars were able to go wheel to wheel all the way, it has been something which is something really remarkable. So, meanwhile, I think we have a few of our drivers who are going wheel to wheel earlier on in the skirmishes in the race. And yes, it's time for our podium interview. So, welcome along. Unfortunately, we can't have Desio today in the commentary box. But yes, we do have Technomancer and Heejin tonight here at the podium interview. And once again, third and fourth on the Drivers' Championship and now finishing on the podium. So, I believe it's a good rivalry between you both, and I think it's a very exciting and memorable 11 races for both of you. So first up, Tacomancer, what are your thoughts? You didn't manage to get third place on the overall driver standings, but yes, good racing earlier from you and your teammates.
Thank you. Yeah, it was exciting till the end. It was fun. The safety guy at the end hyped up the race a bit more, I guess. It was fun. I put on in the end. It got a bit dangerous, but it was fun. Good fun.
Of course. Easy Soto. Any thoughts of Tacomancer's amazing drive earlier?
So Tekro, I feel that you've been trying to send back in the qualifying to spice up the whole entire race. So has this race been a bit spicy for you?
Yeah, it has been. Maybe if I didn't box a bit, bad strategy call there, but yeah, it was fun. I
I
like
mean
to
there
spice
was
up the race.
yeah, I mean there was a few close call for you with
Yes.
a lot of drivers, especially potentials of losing out front wing. So I'm
Yeah.
glad the race has been fun for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Indeed. So, Tacomancer, one more thing I didn't notice that the way you're racing your teammate, was there some kind of coordination between yourself and Sky throughout the course of the race? Because I noticed that both of you were racing close to each other throughout the, especially during middle part of the race.
No, it was free for all pretty much. We didn't talk much. It was just whatever you can perform on the track, do your best. That's it. There was no strategy between us about who's going to overtake. I mean, Sky did help a bit by pushing the top runners for letting me in. So he did a good job as well.
Of course, and I believe good double points finish for Mercedes today, and I think it's a good finale for you, Technomancer. And once again, great racing, good bit of action, and Technomancer, really thank you for your participation this season, and I'm pretty sure you enjoy this podium as much as we do.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah,
It has been a
thank you.
pleasure.
Yeah, good pleasure, and see you next season, Technomancer.
Yep. See ya.
All right,
Good night.
nice. And next up, first ever win in the JF. I think it's been a long time coming. Let's welcome Heejin to the podium interview, or should I say victory interview for Heejin. Welcome along. And first off, give us your thoughts about victory. How do you feel right now?
You have no idea how happy I am right now. This is like the most exciting thing I ever done in my whole entire life for some reason. It's my first ever win in the entire league, basically. So yeah, all the leagues that I participated in the past at JAF wise, this is my first ever win. So it's even like better than even bonus added that I secured P3 in the championship driver. So it's I'm really happy for myself. But yeah, I need to dedicate my win to Ramen and another friend who woke me up actually because I fell asleep before the race, and they only called me at like 9 o'clock, and I joined in like immediately, realizing that I was going to be late for the race. Wasn't for them, I couldn't have attended the race and won. So yeah, really thanks to all of them, and yeah, it was great fun out there. It was great battle with Tekro and everyone else also. Yeah, everyone was driving so cleanly and respectfully, especially the front runners area. So yeah, it was really great fun.
Well, of course, you said you fell asleep earlier. So did you actually miss the driver's briefing earlier and just just scrape it into this qualifying session?
Yeah, actually, I did miss the driver's briefing. I completely fell asleep, not realizing I did. But yeah, but thanks to the people who woke me up, seriously.
Hopefully, no sort of penalties coming away from the management team, but I believe they're really understanding. And I think your win should be credited. So first thing first, I didn't notice that you had a bit of a skirmish with Techromancer. Techromancer shunted you from the back, and I think it almost put you to a spin and cost you a race. So give us thoughts about that. How do you think at that very moment?
I don't blame Tekro. He saw the gap and he wanted to go for it. I was really slow on the pace there, and he thought I was gonna leave the space there. But I ended up braking a bit too early and he unfortunately punted me. Thought it was all over, but yeah, at least we still had. I was understanding about it. I don't really have any hard feelings towards Tekro about it.
Of course, and well, that was regarding Tekro, but you also had a little bit of a virtual moments with Destiel. So obviously, Destiel we know is one of the strongest races here in the JF, and obviously he has the pace to match up with actual F1 esports pro races like Thomas Ronha. I mean, his lap times, as I can see doing a time trials, is really quick. So to finish in front of him doing a race, it certainly must be an achievement here. So give us your thoughts. How do you feel finally finishing in front of Destiel for once?
Well, yes, that still is one of the most greatest players I ever known. He's really, I really respect his level of skill and confidence in the racing world. But yeah, finishing in front of him was, well, I want to be, I don't want to brag too much about it, lah. But I mean, he's, it was really great fun to battle with him either way. So yeah, we gave each other a lot of respect throughout the whole race, and yeah, and I would really like to dedicate the win to him also. So yeah.
Of course. And obviously, I believe my fellow commentator here, Easy Turtle, should have some thoughts about that, something to ask our first ever race, sorry, our inaugural race winner here, Heejin. So Easy Turtle, I believe you have some burning questions to ask Heejin as well regarding his first race win.
I mean, there's nothing much to ask because he has done so well showing us the kind of race pace and racecraft he has, especially against the likes of Destil. So all I can say to him is congratulations, and I'm looking forward to see your races in the future of the other seasons at JAF.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
definitely take part in them.
Right, but Heejin, I don't think it's something to go away because not
It's like
only
my
you have
time.
your first race win, but well, you have also secured well, I believe, well, fourth place in the constructors. I think Haas has done a very good job today. So I want to do a special moment for the constructors interview for the Haas. Yeah. So Ramen, I believe you played a very pivotal role here in the in Heejin's victory. So give us a toss about it. Even through qualifying, I think both of you worked pretty hard to actually score grid spots next to each other. I mean, Ramen qualified P5, Heejin P6. So Ramen, give us a thoughts. I think you qualified Heejin for once, and I think that's a phenomenal lap that you did.
Yeah, thank you so much. I actually hooked up the lap quite well. My first two laps are actually quite like not that good cause I was on used tires and I couldn't hook up the effects properly. Yeah, mind my background. I'm so sorry. Then once I was done with like my second lap, I just like made use of the delta and just like try to learn where to improve. Then yeah, with that I managed to hook up a solid lap. Then I got P5. I was quite ecstatic with that lap. Then for the race, it was all about pace management and also giving way to other people when they didn't like when they were faster than me, except for Destil, because he was the only one that actually fought after the first SC restart. Then I thought my race was over because of the drive-through penalty, but then towards the end, I felt like Yano Opmir. It was the best safety car restart ever. I overtook two drivers at one shot, and also a lot of moments were there. I dived so many people and all of them stuck and it was quite clean. So I'm happy with the race and I'm happy that with my highest points finish in like forever. P4 and P1 for Hijin. So congratulations to him as well.
Of course, I think you got to thank Chimkin for that second safety car restart. I mean, he was the one who caused both safety cars, and I think you rescued the race, Rabbit. So, if not for Chimkin, I don't think well, I don't think your race would have been a P4 Ramen.
Yeah, exactly. It was super lucky. And also I carried Alpha to P9 now here. I'm like helping us carry like towards P3 as well, beating Red Bull in the process. I'm so stoked. Thank you so much.
Of course. Just curious, were both of you in the same voice channel earlier throughout the qualifying race? Because from my observations, you both were really coordinated, and I think I've never seen this level of teamwork here in the JF before. The last time I saw it in real life was in the F1 esports series, where in the actual Ferrari esports team, where both Barry Broma and Nicholas Longe, they were working together in unison like this to actually just defend themselves against the competition. I think this is something that I've never seen in JAF before. This is the first time I've seen it, and huge hats off to you both.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
were
thank you so
we
much.
did work together for the qualifying, and yes, we were in the same voice chat. So yeah, we're communicating and a lot. So yeah, we're just making sure that we help each other lah, basically. And yeah, it was really major props to Raman. Even though he got drive through, we thought the whole race was over, but the safety cars saved us, and like yeah, we secured P3, P4 in the teams championship. So yeah, so great job to Raman also.
Of course, and
Thank you so much.
yeah, I think you both of you had an extremely good season. It's a good ending, and I think that sets a precedent for you to continue joining JAF for future seasons ahead. And once again, congratulations on a good finish to end of the season, and enjoy your weekend, both Ram and Heejin.
All right,
All right,
thanks.
thank you so much,
Very
guys.
good,
See
Ethan
you
and
guys
Raman.
around.
Yeah.
All right. So once again, easy tussle. I believe that was an extremely exciting race for us and for the viewers as well. So give us the final reflections of the entire season as a whole, not just the race, but throughout the past 11 races. What are your final thoughts for this season?
I think this season has really shown lots of drivers doing a lot of improvements in terms of their racecraft and race pace. I mean, at the start, we see Simple doing so well and really scoring consistent points. But sadly, at a later part of the stage, he does tend to make a bit of a mistake, which have cost him a race ban. But still, props to him for improving so much, and I do hope he become more consistent and a bit more cool, cool in cool in the head when it comes to doing certain overtakes. And we have seen likes of Heejin really showing us his potentials in the future seasons. We've seen lots of drivers putting up lots of what do I say, teamwork to make sure they score as much points as possible. I mean, just from the interview just now with Heejin and Ramen, you can tell how excited they are together to like help one another secure better positions for the team itself. And I do hope more drivers will have this type of communications with their teammate and really form a bond with one another and really help each other to push each other to become even better. So because that's what JAF is all about, where everyone works together and really enjoy F1 the game itself, but also make sure that they keep their races clean and nice.
Of course, we really do not want to more about a race ban for Simple. He has been an extremely dedicated driver here. The only driver, I just remind you, is the only driver to participate in all 6 seasons of the GF so far. And it's really saddening to see him being also the first driver to get a race ban. That's one for the records. Not a good record to be boasting about for sure, unlike Heejin and Ramin's past celebrations. Well, I believe it's a good learning pointer for Simple not to repeat the same mistakes again. And I think that's part of improvement. You sometimes need to learn the hard way to improve. Yeah, and I think, well, I guess he won't be repeating the same mistake again should he become a driver in season 7. So, easy settle. Concluding thoughts. Driver, season 7, or commentator?
It's gonna be hard to say. It really has to depend on the schedules I have. But I do hope to get more in touch with the sim racing. So I mean, you might never know. Maybe I'll be back in JF itself. But most probably competing towards the midfield pack because the drivers right at the top are so competitive, and I don't think I'm able to hit the lap times they tend to set very often.
Well, so I guess that's the big question for us to find out whether what we're going to be staying here as commentators or we'll be joining the racing community for next season. Well, until then, see you guys in F1 2024. It's been a great pleasure serving you here for the past 11 races here in the JF. So, this is me, F56, and Easy Sasso as well. So, yes, both of us signing off. Good night and have a good weekend. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Nick.
the moon.
Oh,
We'd go
oh.
to bed in my arms. You're safe and sound without a threat, and I can't wait to see